So with this, we go to another Hong Kong group, and Yuen, Han, Yan. Okay, Han, Yan will be sharing about this is a new startup. Should I call it startup? The Seeing Cicadas.
Do you want to see the notes? Yeah, great. Can we? How? Can we see the Is it okay if we turn it on Keynote? Oh, okay. This one? Yeah. But I don't know if she downloaded it.
Is it the one you...
Do you want to just try to do this?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So, hi, I'm Yuen.
I'm Sharon. Give me 1 second while I pull this up. No. Full screen. Sorry, I didn't. Oh, here it is. Is that right? Okay. Hi, that was really inspiring, and it's incredible to follow such inspiring groups. We are a small startup. We just started this year, and so we have a vision of being a cooperative for creative nonfiction-based storytelling. So right now, we're actually a production company, and we're made up of filmmakers, writers, illustrators, researchers, and we work with a group of freelancers regularly, designers, programmers, and we're hoping that through this model, we'd be able to tell stories in a different way.
So, yeah, like Sharon said, we're not a co-op yet. Why we're here today is we're as a case study of somebody who wants to be a co-op and, you know, the path ahead. And we're here to learn from everybody so you can help us get to where we want to be. So let's talk about the problem with the film industry first in Hong Kong. So as with a lot of other industries in the commercial world, it's a race to the bottom. So we would, you know, compete with each other, get the lowest bid, undercut each other, and often it leads to unsustainable wages and very, very long working hours. Also, a lot of it is informal work, which means that there's no benefit, no protection, and there are no unions for the creative industry in Hong Kong as well. And a lot of times, a lot of this is justified by saying, look, it's all for the sake of art, you know, you should do it, or it's for a good cause. So a lot of times people feel obligated that they need to take very low wages and be exploited.
Allow me to backtrack a bit. Sing Cicadas is a production company telling stories for a social change. So all of our stories are about social issues. And another pain point that we see are that a lot of NGOs or individuals come to us and they want their story told. But in order to create good storytelling, it does require money. It requires capital. And a lot of times we have to say no because we don't have the money or the talent because we can't pay for their time to tell these important stories.
Yeah, so why do we want to be a co-op? So mostly it's to solve a lot of the problems that we already mentioned, you know, having a sustainable working environment, but also we believe that when there is a sustainable environment, we're able to attract talent. So people who are, who believe in the same values and who want to create creative content for a social, like for a social cause. And then when we have a pool of talent, we're able to create better films or better content or better experiences. And our idea, well, I'll talk more about it a little later, is when we have these very good quality programs, we'll have surplus that we can reinvest into other creative films that have ultimately a social cause. And in the end, we'll build a good community and ecosystem for a bigger vision. So here's our working model, which again, we're not there yet.
We're hoping to test this. So right now we are a small production company. We have 3 staff, and so we're still in the traditional model. So what we need to start first is to create a sustainable creative ecosystem, is to have securely funded projects. And that means clients, for example, foundations, or government arts councils, or even branded clients. And then from the securely funded projects, we're able to gain a little surplus, which, as Han-Yan said, we then invest into what we call crazy cool projects. That's our dream. And what crazy cool projects are, it's projects that are higher risk. It allows us to create more innovation. We tackle more controversial issues. And through all that prototyping, then the result of that, as it matures, then gets put back into securely funded projects. And that's how a good ecosystem is run for arts. If we keep doing basic client-asked jobs, we're only using what we know. And that's, in a way, the case that we see. Han-Yan and I have been freelancers for a decade or more, and it's hard. We find that it's hard to grow. People around us, network is very scattered. A lot of freelancers are too busy to talk to each other, and it is not a very healthy ecosystem right now for important storytelling.
So how this is a co-op structure that we have largely borrowed, inspired by a UK friend of ours who has a tech co-op called Outlandish. So this is probably way too specific, but I do think it might be interesting for people who want to see our model or our dream model. So on the outside, that's the collaborators, that's freelancers. So these are people who have, who are just starting to work with us. And then after 3 months, they become part of the Singing Cicadas ecosystem. So they become cicadas. And we work together full-time. And after 1 year, which we haven't gotten there yet, after 1 year, then they're eligible to become core members. And when they become core members, so each layer will have the responsibilities and benefits as well. So when you're a core member, you become a full member where you can vote and decide on what projects to take on. And when we have the surplus, like what cool crazy projects we'll invest in. Yeah, do you have anything else to add about this? So here are the issues. The main problem is, with all that talk about surplus and reinvesting, we're not there yet. We don't have the surplus. In the Hong Kong film industry not every film industry in the world is quite cutthroat. So in order to produce content that is about social issues is quite difficult already. And to do that while paying sustainable wages is another level, and then to do that with the surplus is another level. But this is our first year. We are slowly getting there. The other really difficult issue is finding the right people. So we need people with creative talent and with the same mentality. So a lot of times we find that there are a lot of very excellent directors, but they do not want to work together, or they do not want to work in this kind of sharing model. So it's a little bit difficult to find people with the same mindset. So by being at platforms like this, we hope to be able to meet more people that have the same ideas.
So, as I said, we are in our year 1, and to let you know a little bit more about us, this is one of the big projects that we've been working on this year, Han-Yan and I. It's an independent production. It's a VR documentary. And we're able to do this because we got funding from UK Arts Council, because we were able to get in-kind sponsorship from Google VR program, because we have partners like the Tech Co-op in UK who took us on as a crazy cool project to work on, because it is experimental, it's risky, and they don't know exactly how we're going to deliver, but we're able to innovate in the process of doing this.
So this project, just very quickly, it's about a Foxconn worker. So Foxconn is an Apple factory. So it's about her life, basically. And you put on your headset, you become her friend, you interact with her, and you learn more about her life. So the idea is, because the issue of the factory workers talked about so much. People kind of are, oh, it's like a little bit boring already. So we're trying to use a new way to engage people more, to create more empathy, and hopefully at the end, it will inspire them to take another step to learn more about their consumption behavior.
The second major project this year is called Creativity Is, and it's about the sense of powerlessness amongst youth in Hong Kong. It started with talking to a bunch of young people, year 1, 2, 3 university students, and they would tell us that they can't do anything in this city because even if they can, or even if they wanted to, they will not be allowed to. And so this has been a year-long campaign. We've had a documentary that was filmed and made and screened over 60 times now, reaching over 2,500 people to date. We have an interactive game coming up. We are designing applied theater experiences, and we are collecting stories from the major universities right now. So we're working with a lot of different collaborators, all freelancers, and sharing mostly all the same pain points that we hope to solve as we move forward.
So that's it from us, and if you know anyone who is interested in joining a co-op of creative content, please let us know, and we are on our way, so I invite you all to keep us accountable and see where we are in a few years. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Han Yan and Sharon, for sharing, saving 4 minutes, while also sharing a great idea, all right? And it's spot on, and maybe, because actually it's part of our mission, okay, for this conference and beyond, to grow platform co-ops, okay, in Hong Kong, and also help with commons transition, okay, for traditional type of ownership structures into co-op structures. And after 3 presentations, we will have a tea break, and during the tea break, we'll have the official launch of the platform co-op Consortium Hong Kong. And then we will talk, that's one mechanism. We'll try to channel resources, okay, to organizations like Cicadas, all right? But then we have many other big, okay, co-ops, okay, organizations around the world. If you want to do a crazy cool project, all right, and about KDIM or SEWA, then you can talk to them directly.